I'm walking you through a case study today of one of my one-to-one clients who had booked 2 sales calls for her new program before even launching. She hadn't been publicly talking about this. She hadn't even begun to launch this publicly, and she'd already booked 2 sales calls for people who were interested in signing up. So I'm going to break down the strategy for how we did this before we'd even, started talking about it publicly, how we already had people interested. So this client was launching a brand new program. It was her first program in this new business. She had a small audience already, but had never really gone through this sales process. So this was kind of her first time as well, going through this whole process and whole sales experience. So as we really approached this program launch date, she had, as I said, booked in 2 sales calls before the program was even formally announced, just from DM conversations she was having. So these all came from conversations she was just having with people anyway. And here is how she was able to launch with several clients already lined up just from the people she had reached out, just from the calls that she'd already booked in before even announcing this program. This is the strategy and what you can take away from this as well to get the same result for yourself. So the first thing we did was we really focused on the actual program for this. We focused on what she was creating and really made sure that this was an irresistible offer for her ideal client. So making sure it was something they were really, really interested in and was going to be a really juicy no-brainer for these people. Especially as this was, her first time selling something. We wanted to really utilize those weeks before the official launch to just tease her audience about what was coming, get them excited, and make it a really no-brainer for them to reach out to get advanced details for this. So during those weeks, so before we'd even started talking about it publicly, we were just hinting that something was coming, giving a brief idea on what this was going to be covering, what it was going to be helping people with, etc. She had multiple people reaching out to her interested in this offer specifically before she'd given any details, and she had booked several sales calls from this conversation as well. And I think the really great thing to just notice and highlight here is that these were all in the weeks before actually launching, because these weeks can be so strategic. They're not a write-off. They're not a nothing can happen because we haven't started talking about the program. These are actually some of your best weeks to really validate this idea, really start off on a strong foot for this launch of people already signing up, already being interested, and you can actually then start your launch with multiple people already inside the program. You can start the launch not from zero. You can start the launch with, 3 people have already signed up for this program, and that is such a great place to be in. The second thing we really did was we really focused on then the actual launch process and made sure that she had a really strong launch process for this as well. So really making sure to equip her well for the sales conversations. I really walked her through this entire process so she was able to begin selling the program privately and in a really confident and strong way as well. It wasn't, we were getting the interest, but it wasn't converting. She was actually able to convert these people as well, actually able to have those conversations, and they went really well. And I think the reason why it was so successful and really setting her up for the launch is because she really focused on that sales process. She really focused on not just how am I going to bring in leads during this pre-launch time, but also how am I going to run these sales calls? What is going to be, my pitch to these people? What is going to be the early offer for them? Actually really planning out that piece as well, and not just, leaving it, which I think some people tend to do. It's really easy to do at, okay, we'll have a pre-launch and just anyone who's interested, just let me know and we'll leave it there. But actually having conversations with those people, actually getting them on the phone, actually selling to them and giving them an early opportunity to jump in was so helpful for actually meaning that we were starting not from zero. And when we did publicly announce it, there were already people signed up as well, which is such a powerful place to be in again with the launch. So that is how my one-to-one client had 2 sales calls booked before even launching, before even publicly talking about, even sharing the details of her new offer for her new business as well. So this was her first time going through this process. If you found this helpful, if you found these tips valuable, make sure you give this video a like and make sure you subscribe so you do not miss the daily videos I'm putting out at the moment. And on that note, I will see you in the next one tomorrow.